Hi everybody, it's Rich the Awning Guy here with Window Works. And it's a little bit shady here, so I'm sorry for the contrast. But today we're live in Bergen, New Jersey. And we happen to be a few houses down from a couple of weeks ago, I was on the same street, also in Bergen. And the reason we're on the same street is because we've got more than one project going on in the area. And as is usually the case with Window Works, we have happy clients that make suggestions and references and refer our products and services. And what you're looking at behind me is one of two retractable awnings that we have installed on this house. The other one up there on the deck is the Triumph. So this system right here is a full cassette model called the Bella Plus by Durasol Awnings. It's an Italian company that we buy from with manufacturing facilities in New York. And the one up here behind me is the Triumph. The Triumph is a heavy-duty retractable awning. You can see, although that deck does not look very intimidating from this perspective, generally speaking, anything past a 10, 12, 13-foot projection, you've got some serious heavy-duty engineering in order to accommodate long projections. So just to show you how heavy duty the Triumph is, the projections on that model start at 13 foot or so. So today's episode we're going to talk a little bit about the three top complaints about retractable awnings and what Window Works does to help address those issues. Number one and these are not necessarily in any order. Number one of the biggest complaints about retractable awnings is, I wish I didn't wait so long. Actually, I was thinking about some things. I really don't know how we can help you there, other than say, please don't wait. It's a fact that most of our customers have thought about buying an awning for longer than 12 months. Sometimes, especially around this time of the year, we like to say that we make snowflakes here. Everything that we do is completely custom. There's nothing off the shelf. And it does take some time to manufacture these things according to the way you specify them, what we recommend, and what we end up manufacturing based on your particular project. So when you're dealing with a low-cost manufacturer, generally what you're going to find is that you're pulling from a limited amount of details, a limited amount of options, and installing an awning with a quick turnaround, mostly because it's generally being pulled off a shelf and kind of thrown together and shipped. That's one of the things that Durasol does best. Is they're a high-end manufacturer, and everything they do is completely custom crafted according to what we talk about. So what we're doing is we're manufacturing the awning to work within the goals and the design of the space, as opposed to redefining what you expect to do with the space just to conform to the specs of a lower-end manufacturer. So, complaint number one, I wish I didn't wait so long to install the awning. I mean, the best thing I can do to help you with that is to recommend just give us a call and finally go ahead and do it now. So sometimes at this time of the year, people, think, well, by the time I get it installed, we're going to have missed most of the season. I'm sure you've noticed, but the seasons seem to be starting later and ending later. So spring, with the nor'easters we still have, and people only putting away their snowblowers not too long ago, people were using their awnings deep into September and October. So this is not a product that you shut off after 4th of July and forget about. The other thing is, this is generally a lifetime product. So it's not like, this thing's going to last 2 or 3 years, and waiting a few months until next season might save you a bit on, on the durability and longevity of the product. I wouldn't recommend waiting. The two main components that go into the manufacturing of this product are oil, which we create the acrylic fabric out of, and aluminum, which makes up the structural framework of the awnings. And you know what happens to commodities every year. The pricing goes up, so waiting really doesn't do anything for anybody. Number 2, I wish I had gone bigger. Why do people complain about not having a big awning? Well, usually it isn't the case with Window Works, but you can see here behind me that this is a big awning. One of the reasons we carry this particular manufacturer is because they have such a phenomenal wide range of models that come in a lot of different shapes and sizes with individual features and benefits, pros and cons and things like that. A lot of times, and this is the benefit of dealing with a high-end manufacturer and a custom retailer like Window Works. Sorry, my face is a little bit dark there. I don't know if you can see me. But everything we do is custom, like I keep saying. And why do people complain about having not enough shade? They usually don't with us. Why is that? Because what we do as part of our consultation when you come out, we come out at no charge. And what a professional retailer will do is we'll factor in all of the installation logistics, what direction we're facing, what your goals of the space are going to be, and we'll determine what the optimal amount of shade coverage is going to be based on what your goals are for the space and what sort of installation logistics we have to work with. For example, we know that we could install the awning just below the second floor windows here. We know that we've got a patio that, look at this guy right here relaxing. Oh, it must be nice. I normally don't feature kids in my videos, but it's okay because this kid happens to be mine. Let's go see what's going on with this guy. Excuse me, sir, you look kind of comfortable over there. Are you sleeping?
No, just enjoying this beautiful awning.
Wow, must be nice. Look at this guy, living the dream here. How could you not help but fall asleep under a nice awning? It's 90 degrees out here. How cool would you think, would you say it is under here?
I don't know, 60, 50, maybe?
50? Where is your jacket? Wow, you heard it. It's 50 degrees under this awning. I don't know how it goes from 90 degrees down to 50, but you heard it. It is really, really cold under this awning. So, now that it's 50 degrees, I'm going to feel bad because I really should have brought Matt's winter coat. We had a little camp snafu, so we had a little daddy daycare here. And Matt's helping me out on my day, which is I very much appreciate because it gets lonely on the road sometimes, and I'm really happy. Anyway, okay, so why do people complain about having not enough shade? Because what we do is we come out, and like I said, we make some recommendations based on the trajectory of the sun, how high we can mount the awning, how much square footage that we think that would be appropriate, and then sometimes budget will dictate what is ultimately decided upon, which is absolutely fine because everybody's got a budget. Everyone has, the minimums and maximums that we can and can't do with the product because sometimes, after all, we are defying physics. And sometimes a home has less than optimal mounting conditions. So what we'll do is we'll work within the constraints of the house, sometimes within the constraints of the budget. And but one of the good things about dealing with an awning company that has multiple models to choose from with millions of configurations is we're adapting the product to suit your needs, as opposed to, like I said, the other way around, where you're adapting your living to suit the shortcomings of a lower end product. So what do I mean more specifically? Well, if you're ordering from Joe Blow Awning Co. and Joe Blow Awning Co. can only come out 10 feet and wants to sell you a commoditized project, maybe what they're going to do is sell you a 16 by 10 and be in and out and slam up the awning. And sometimes what we get is feedback that the shade that is cast, you can see here, it's, 4 o'clock on a Friday in June. This is something that a professional company takes into consideration, the trajectory of the shade in relation to where that shade falls in the living area. So when you're dealing with a lower end company, people that don't know what they're doing, we've been doing this for decades, you're not going to end up with a space, regardless of what you spent on the product, that isn't shaded. But what you'll get with a company like Window Works and a high-end manufacturer like Durasol is you'll get a project with a product that we're happy to stand behind, that you are comfortable to live underneath. Look like Matt. I mean, come on, how comfortable does this guy look? So that's complaint number 2. I wish I had gone bigger, because sometimes we can't afford the 13-foot projection, or sometimes the 13-foot projection wants a mounting height a little higher than what we've got available to us, but I won't get into too much technicality. Just give us a call and trust us. You're in very good hands. Now, issue number 3. I'm sorry, Matt, but I'm going to have to take away your shade for a few minutes here and bring the awning in. But don't worry. I put sunblock on you this morning, so you won't get too burnt. Okay, number 3. The 3 biggest complaints about retractable awnings. One of the other biggest complaints about retractable awnings is birds. I have a friend of mine, and I'm probably going to do a Facebook Live from her house sometime in the near future. Names will be left out to protect the innocent. But she called me for a retractable awning. I came out and gave her my professional opinion. And part of that professional opinion was, you live essentially in a fairly swampy area. I see a lot of weeping willows here. There are a lot of birds here. Let me tell you something about this product. The only thing that loves this product more than I do, or more than you will after it's installed, are birds. The reason birds love this product is because when this product is in the retracted position, the hood that we install over all of our awnings create a beautiful spot for birds to go in and nest underneath, which is fine, because if you're careful with the product, sometimes you just shoo them out and they go away and you're good to go. But other times they're a little bit tenacious, and this is definitely the exception. This is not the rule. Occasionally, I mean, this really only happens occasionally, but when it does happen, they can get kind of annoying. So there are all kinds of products available to deal with the birds. But the only way to really deal with birds is to keep them out altogether. What you're looking at here is a cassette-style retractable awning. What is a cassette-style retractable awning? Basically, the model that you're looking at behind me, up on the upper deck, this is the traditional style retractable awning, where we have an optional hood. The reason we have 2 different models on this project is because the traditional style retractable awning can project out a lot further. They wanted 2 cassettes because they're more contemporary and sleek looking. They protect the fabric better, but we couldn't go out as far on the upper deck. They wanted to really project out as far as we could, so we settled on 2 separate models. Anyway, sorry, Matt, you're out there in the sun, so let me make things comfortable again. Wow, it feels really cold. I think you're right, Matt. I think it is about 50 degrees under here. Anyway, so what happens is the optional hood makes a nice little condominium for birds to sit underneath, and the reason, what do we do about that? Well, we have models that are basically cassette-style retractable awnings, and I'll start to fast forward so I can get you back to your Fridays. And what a cassette-style retractable awning is it's basically a larger sized front bar. You can see the front bar is the part that goes in and out when you hit the button or when you crank it out. The cassette-style retractable awning has a larger style front bar, and when the awning retracts against the house or the building, it forms a tight seal, and it essentially creates a case. So now there's nowhere for a bird to get in and create its own little condominium. So, again, just to review the 3 biggest complaints. Number 1, I wish I didn't wait so long. I recommend that you don't wait any longer. The only thing that's going to happen is pricing is going to go up. You're going to continue to keep plowing through all of your umbrellas and pop-up canopies that respectively last a year or two or three or four, or blow away and disintegrate completely. And number two, I wish I had gone bigger. It's sometimes hard to sound objective as a salesperson. Sometimes I'll recommend a project that is smaller than a person envisioned, simply because we're following the path of the sun, not necessarily the defining area of a space, like measuring it just to the edges of the railing. We don't have to cover the whole deck. We really just want to cover the living area with shade. Give us a call and we'll help you steer to that end. And number three, birds. So like I said, there is a solution for birds, especially if you're a current owner of an awning. There is hope. There are now bird-proof awnings out there, and you're looking at one of them here behind me. Matt is, wow, you look really cool, big guy. Sorry, a little awning pun there. So, those are the three biggest complaints about awnings, retractable awnings, and I hope I've answered some of the questions you may have. Again, give us a call and visit us online at windowworksnj.com. My name is Rich. I'm the awning guy here, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.